Hi, I'm Tom Bleasdale, and today I'm going to talk about filling the time. Now, when you have a chronic illness, you have a lot of time where you're just simply trying to manage your symptoms, and there's varying degrees of what you're actually able to do within that time. A lot of the time, you can't do anything more than just listen to music or watch TV or watch movies, and even that can be challenging because you can't concentrate to follow what's going on. If you're watching a movie, you have to keep rewinding over and over, and if you're reading a book, you'll find yourself rereading the same paragraph over and over again, and it's really very frustrating, and you have to just give up sometimes. That's one of the limitations of living with fibromyalgia. The fibro fog really does get in the way of focusing and concentrating on stuff, but sometimes your symptoms are still bad and you don't feel well enough to go out and do anything, but you don't want to just sit around doing nothing, and sometimes it can be challenging trying to figure out what you can fill the time with. Now, I've been ill with this for a very long time, many years, and during those years I have spent my time filling those hours when I'm well enough to do a little bit but not much. I've spent that time making music mainly. I still make a lot of music now, as you may know if you follow these videos, and I make music under various styles. I play guitar and bass and keyboards, and I sing a little bit. The difficult thing is there's so many times when I want to play my guitar or my bass, but I don't have the strength to play, to push down the strings. It hurts too much, and that's really upsetting and frustrating. But that's one of the things I do, making music. That takes up a lot of my time. When I was first really struggling with the illness, well, a few years after I'd been struggling with the misdiagnosis, and I was very much a shut-in. I saw David Blaine on TV and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start learning that just as something to do. So I went online, found some magic stores and bought some books and DVDs and cards, and I learned to become a magician. And during a few years where my health improved for a little bit, I was able to perform and do close-up magic shows for a little while, and I loved that. I miss it desperately, but I'm very happy that I got to do it. That's something which is a very interesting and fun thing to do, and art is another thing which I spent a lot of time on, particularly photography. I love photography, I always have done, and I've had a couple of exhibitions. I was sponsored by the We Are Superlative Conspiracy clothing company, otherwise known as WESC, W-E-S-C. They have a shop and gallery up in London, and they hosted my exhibition up there quite a few years ago now, and I had a show in Bristol as well, which was co-curated by Damien Hirst. I didn't actually get very successful with my artwork, but it was something that I enjoyed doing, and it was something I enjoyed trying, and I still love art. And my drawing and painting isn't great, but when I'm feeling up to it and I feel creative, I'll do something just because I enjoy it and it fills the time. And to produce something that's actually you're able to look at afterwards and go, yeah, I made that. You can feel good about yourself and not just like sitting around watching another TV show which you've seen 100 times. There's nothing wrong with doing that if you're feeling lousy. I've seen Red Dwarf every episode hundreds of times. I've seen The Karate Kid hundreds of times. I've seen Revenge of the Nerds Part 2 more times than I care to admit. So, filling the time with all these different things, you have to just look for things in the world that you find interesting and find ways to do them within your limitations. That's what this illness is about, is living within your limitations, recognizing those limitations, living within them, and occasionally trying to push through those limitations, because it doesn't hurt to try. Even if you don't succeed, and I've failed many times, at least I can say, you know what, I tried. I really did try. And that's a lot more than a lot of people who even have their health ever do. So we can feel good about ourselves for doing these kind of things, and we shouldn't feel bad about ourselves for not being able to be productive or creative or useful members of society. It's not our fault, and what we should just do is make the best use of the time that we can use, as little as that may be. Some days I'm not able to do anything other than just lie in front of the TV and just survive the illness. Other days I'm able to sit in the garden and record a little video like this and then take it to my computer, and a little bit later on, when I feel compass mentis enough, I can edit it and put out what you're watching now. And then maybe later on, if I feel up to it, I can get my guitar out and record a few riffs, record a track maybe. It's all sorts of things I can try and do. Watching documentaries, brilliant. Watching nature programs, very relaxing, good for the soul, good for the mind. Great. Watching comedies also makes you laugh. Laughter's the best medicine in some, it really is the best medicine in some ways, especially when the illness is getting you down, because we have to live with this day in, day out, all the time. You can't get away from it, you can't escape from it. So it's not like you can just say to yourself, oh, well, maybe I'll feel better later, You just have to go, oh, this is hell, I've got to go through it. What can make it easier? Bit of laughter. So there's nothing wrong with, when you're feeling lousy, just sitting down watching TV and laughing at a comedy show. Or, reading's brilliant, of course, or listening to music. All these things are good. So, yeah, try and find those things that interest you and excite your mind and that you can be passionate about, and just do it. Just whatever it takes, within your limitations, do it. And those limitations, try pushing them now and again, because you might be surprised at what you can do.